Shalom, shalom. This is Kapari, aka Pops, out of GMS Chicago with another sit down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. To the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, I want to send double honors because they do real well. To the brethren around the world, pushing the truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you the good, the bad, the ugly, the scriptures, correctly dividing the prophecies and the interaction with the people on the planet. I send salutations. Hopefully, hope this is edifying to the Agua, the few that's listening, to said and share to keep doing so. Before the scholars call for reprobate 2/3 Israelites, 17 other nations, you know what it is. So, as I say, you got this big racism thing that's going around in football, with Colin Kaepernick and, him wanting to take a knee and, him being actually better than some of the quarterbacks that's actually in the league right now. But nobody wants to give him a fair shake and whatnot because this billionaire boys club, these Edomites want to keep him out of the game. Basically, Donald Trump's, said, you're fired, and I don't nobody want to touch me and all this other kind of shit. But that's just a perpetual hate that this Edomite have for us. Kaepernick brought up a good point. He didn't want to, the racial indifference and things of this nature that was going on here, and then the fact that, like I said, there's a lyric in the Star Spangled Banner itself that's just straight up wicked, okay, to begin with. But but that ain't just football that's in, okay. You got that. The big thing now is Lamar Jackson and how, they giving him his praise and all this other kind of stuff because he's not standing in the pocket like a Tom Brady and this, that, and other. And that's how they used to think of it. And wasn't that cerebral? And, we're not cerebral individuals and this, that, and other, which is amazing considering the fact that the scripture says Jacob is the former of all things. Okay? But like I said, so now you even got National Hockey League coaches calling so-called black, which we know we're not black, but got us calling the Israelite player the nigger word, the N-word. So, or the N-word. So with that being the case, let's just go and let this play out and put some scriptures on it.
Hakeem Aliou met today with the NHLPA and Executive Director Don Fehr, including the PA's legal team, as they wanted to hear from him directly.
The purpose of me coming you here today is we have not completed that.
Former AHL player Hakeem Aliou played for Bill Peters in the Chicago Blackhawks' system. Peters, a coach for over a decade, has been accused of racist remarks. He walked in before a morning pregame skate and said, "Hey Hakeem, I'm sick of you playing that N-word, S-word." Aliou told TSN. He said, "I'm sick of hearing this N-word, F-word, other N-word in the ass stuff." He then walked out like nothing ever happened. You could hear a pin drop in the room. Everything went dead silent. I just sat down in my stall, didn't say a word, said Hakeem Aliou. Hakeem's initial tweet that set off this entire firestorm was this. Not very surprising, the things we're hearing about Mike Babcock. I'll get to that in a second. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Dropped the N-bomb several times towards me in the dressing room in my rookie year because he didn't like my choice of music, referring to Peters. First one to admit I rebelled against him, wouldn't you? And instead of remedying the situation, he wrote a letter to John McDonough and Stan Bowman to have me sent down to the ECHL. 20-year-old on pace for 20 goals in his first pro year with 0 power play penalty kill time was off to a great start. Another former player, then defenseman of the Carolina Hurricanes, Michael Jordan, said this: "You get what you deserve, Bill. After years making it to the NHL, I had experience with the worst coach ever, by far, kicking me and punching another player to the head during a game, then pretending like nothing happened. Couldn't believe my eyes what can happen in the best league. Happy that I don't have to go through that stuff on a daily basis. anymore.
This morning I received a letter of resignation from Bill Peters.
Prior to this, Peters put out a statement. I have regretted the incidents that happened, and I now also apologize to anyone negatively affected by my words. I am aware that there is no excuse for language that is offensive. I meant no disrespect.
Okay. He regrets having did this or whatever. See, let me put the scripture in here. See, he doesn't realize that the curses are transferring now. So see, this scripture here actually jumps out. Let me show you. This scripture is actually, what got him caught up. Because he thought he was still under the past of this scripture here. Psalms 73, 73 and 5. Psalm 73 and 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Okay? So, he was used to the world being his kingdom, because it was. Pursuant to Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So it was given to him, so he was used to being able to just kind of just run rampant. You go back to that movie with Mel Blanc, where he's going around and bidding over damsels and shit and hitting it real quick from the back and talking about it's good to be the king. You know what I'm saying? So this Edomite for the past 500-600 years or so has been the king. He was given the entire planet, as part of his blessing, the total fatness of the land, and he subdued it, abused it, and misused it, because that's all he knows what to do. He's death and destruction incarnate. So, he wasn't used to being in trouble like that. So, since he done got in trouble, so not the fact that he got in trouble, but because the world is now pointing the finger at him and letting them know that they're not dealing with that no more. He's caught up in the situation. He's caught up in the trick bag. So let's go back here to the scriptures. And when we got the scriptures, let's go back to the article itself and let it play through some more.
Was not directed at anyone in particular, but that doesn't matter. It was hurtful and demeaning. I am truly sorry. I accept the reality of my actions. Peters did not apologize to Hakeem Aliyu in the incident. Thus, Aliyu took to Twitter saying and calling the statement misleading, insincere, and concerning. Also concerning, Mike Babcock, credibly known for his great success with the Detroit Red Wings, 2005 to 2015, never missing the playoffs, just fired after 4.5 years into, I believe, an 8-year contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. His past behavior, very concerning. Johan Franzen described Babcock as a great coach, but he's a terrible person, the worst I ever met. He's a bully who was attacking people. It could be a cleaner at the arena in Detroit or anybody. He would lay into people without any reason. Franzen, to this day, suffers from PTSD, anxiety attacks, and panic attacks. His memory is fading as well. I kept a lot secret. I could stop on the roadside on my way home after games and have a panic attack. I sat crying for an hour by the side of the road. No one knew about it. Blackhawks great Chris Chelios told a story on the Spittin' Chicklets podcast about Franzen and Mike Babcock. Some of the things Babcock said to Franzen on the bench, I don't know what he said to him behind closed doors one-on-one, but he blatantly verbally assaulted him during the game on the bench. It got to the point where poor Johan, no one really knowing he was suffering with the concussion thing and the depression thing, he just broke down and had nervous breakdowns, not only on the bench, but after the game in one of the rooms in Nashville. It was probably one of the worst things I've ever seen. And yet the hits this week to the NHL kept on coming, as Chicago Blackhawks assistant Mark Crawford also has allegations thrown against him, and now he is not with the team as the Blackhawks conduct their own investigation. Sean Avery said Mark Crawford kicked him during a game. Last November, Brent Sopel said on the Spit and Chicklets pod, while he was playing for Crawford as part of the Canucks in '99, Crawford kicked me, choked me, grabbed the back of my jersey, and pulled me back. He attacked me personally. In one story, he said Crawford told him one offseason to gain 20 pounds, then suspended him for 6 weeks the following season for his weight gain, making him back skate every day to slim down. As we conclude, the biggest problem with all of this, we go back to Akim Aliu and the players' fear of coming forward. Aliu told TSN that he sat on this a really, really long time because he knew by playing the race card, it's most likely the end of your career.
Okay. Okay. So here's a professional hockey player that was worried about his career, so he didn't want to come forward. Okay? So let's get some scriptures and then close this out. Okay, this is Amos 1 and 11. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof. What's that punishment? The recompense, because of what Edom had a chance to do to us. Okay, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, he did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So he held on to it. He never let it go. He never went for bygones be bygones. So now, why would he think that we would want to go where bygones be bygones? Okay, next scripture. Ezekiel 35, 5 through 9. Ezekiel 35, 5 through 9. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, says Lord Power, I will prepare unto thee blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You had no problem with bloodshed. Put us up in postcards, all kinds of pictures, you know, brothers that have been mutilated, dick rods cut off, and the whole deal. And you had no problem with that. You know, bonfire, pick a nigga, picnics, all that shit. All that shit. You had no problem with none of that. Therefore, as I live, says Lord Power, I prepare thee unto blood. The blood shall pursue you. Since you didn't have no problem with shedding blood, I'm going to prepare you. I'm going to have the Israelite men be able to wrap their mind around not having no kind of qualms. They're not going to be in that kumbaya thing when it comes to their enemy. They're not going to be wanting to join hand in hand with that Martin Luther King doctrine and this, that, and other. They're going to be bringing some people under subjugation for the wrong that they did. Okay? Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. That's why I make Mount Seir most desolate. So you go desolate your land mass and everything else. And Mount Seir is just talking about your whole government structure, your whole power structure, everything else that make Mount Seir Mount Seir. You know, the international bankers, the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, all of them are going to be brought down, okay, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains, okay, I will fill his governments with his slain men in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all the rivers shall they fall. that are slain by the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return. So that scripture that the scripture that says that they think that their cities and whatnot will go on forever. He's bringing that down. This scripture says that he's not going to let that happen. I will make the perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. And he said, I'm going to destroy your shit, and everybody going to know that I destroyed your shit, and then you ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. Let's go over here to Genesis 27, because you hated us, and you had no problem expressing that, and since it came out, and even to this day, the Lord says, since you had a perpetual hatred for your brother, I'm gonna let him get at you. And Esau said in the first Caucasian born said, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? Hast thou just one blessing? My father blessed me, even me also, O father. And Esau lifted up his voice and said, well, okay. And Isaac his father, like I said again, Yahweh Shai, if you can receive that, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. That dew is all the things that make the land great, which is wealth and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm gonna do all that. I'm gonna let you get a shot at all that, having all that, total control. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And we had him in slavery for a little while, and then, like I said, we drove him up into the Caucasus Mountains and all this other kind of stuff. And when they came out and started, being given dominion to fulfill the prophecies that they had to be in the last days, it did what it did, okay? And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning with my father at hand, then will I slay my brother. So, okay, hold on, read again. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So he's basically saying that when his mourning is over, then he's going to slay his brother, his own brother, okay? So this guy didn't have no love for his brother, okay? But now that things get ready to hit the fan for him, now he want bygones to be bygones, because you know what that is. That's just Esau being Esau, because Esau 2 verse 6, excuse me, 2nd Ezra 2 6 verse 9 says what? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of what they'll follow. This man basically took this world and got it to the point that, like the scripture says, if it wasn't for the elect's sake, all flesh would be consumed. So, this man has basically pushed this planet to the edge where it's ready to really just not be able to support life. It was getting to that point. So, that's why you got Bill Gates talking about they want to cut the population back down to, 500,000 people. So they really want to kill off 7.5 billion, just keep 500 million people on the planet and whatnot. And if he could actually do that, then the planet would heal itself because of the nature of things. They wouldn't be able to over farm it or over this or over that, so it would go into those cycles. But that's not Yahweh Shai's, why Yahweh Shai's game plan. So he's got to be destroyed. So that's the uplifting part, because all the stuff we see with this president being impeached and all the things that's going on and all the shady dealings with all the different governments and all this other kind of stuff, it's just this Edomite being brought down. And, these are the things that had to happen. So for our kingdom to come in, this Edomite he's demonizing us because of the fact that he's been demonized by the scriptures that he used, the actual scripture and a book that he used to actually call itself mind controlling us for so long. But now that the real truth of the scriptures is being brought out, he doesn't have anything to stand on, so he's got to demonize us, pull the internet down, especially the YouTube and whatnot, and demonize us and call us Black Hebrew Israelites and round us up and shut us down. So, like I said, it's an exciting time. And so, since Yahweh Shai doesn't get the spirit of fear, just gird up as long as like a man, as he told Job, and get your mind right, get your head straight, ask the Lord to keep you in the right mind, and that wisdom and knowledge is really your time to just hold on. So with that having been said, again, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh B'Ashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Ashem, L'Kakodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, again, double honors because they do well. So for the elect of the planet, I send salutations, and for the rest of the world, above.